It's actually really fun. It's a nice little modded subclass for the Warlock, so we're going to jump into it level by level with a combat tutorial and all the items and abilities you could need. And of course, we start with the Warlock. Now, the Warlock itself obviously has simple weapon proficiencies, light armor proficiencies, charisma and wisdom saving throw proficiencies, and our spellcasting modifier is going to be charisma based, so bear that in mind. Now, when it comes to your level 1 cantrips, we're going to take Eldritch Blast because you have to as a Warlock, it's like the rules. And we're going to take Mage Hand, so we have a little like out of combat utility spell. And then of course we have the Rat King. So the Rat King means you have formed a pact with the sinister entity, one that commands the seething masses of the Undercity. So this will give you Summon Pact Rat. Summon your Pact Rat to your side, granting Pact Tactics, and this is a permanent thing that lasts. So for your spells, we are going to take Hex because, again, Hex, nice way you throw it on, deal extra damage. And Venomous Bite. Now this is really cool because you can possibly bite a target and possibly poison them. This will last for 2 turns, and poison is really good because it's disadvantaged on attack rolls and ability checks. Now for your ability points, we're going to take 8 Strength, we're going to take 16 Dexterity, 14 Constitution, 10 Intelligence, 10 Wisdom, and 16 Charisma. For your proficiencies, take what you feel like you need for your build. Warlock level 2 brings you more spells, so first of all we're going to end up taking the Armour of Agathis. This is a nice way to get some temporary hit points, and if you get hit, deal cold damage in return. And then we got some Eldritch Invocation. So the first one we're going to take is Agonizing Blast. This means we get to add our Charisma modifier to our damage it deals. And we're going to take Repelling Blast. This means if you hit a creature, we can push them up to 4.5 meters away from you. This means we can push them off of beams, balconies, ledges, taking full damage or possibly even ending fights. Warlock level 3 brings improved Warlock spells, and we gain another spell at this point, so let's take the Arms of Hadar. We get a Pact Boon, so for this one we are going to take Pact of the Blade. This means we can summon a Pact weapon, or bind the one to our hand that we're wielding and make it magical. This will use our spellcasting modifier, being Charisma, instead of Strength or Dexterity, so this is really good. It means we can just focus on one stat block. Warlock level 4 brings a new feat. So for this one, we are going to take our spell of, we're going to take Melf's Acid Arrow. I love this, acid damage and delayed acid damage. Then we get to pick our feat, so we're just going to boost our Charisma all the way up to 18. Warlock level 5 brings a Deepened Pact, so we gain an extra attack now with our Pact weapons. And we gain a Plague Pact Rat. Now these are awesome. Now we gain one more spell, so for this one we are going to take the Carrion Curse, so curse the target with Infestation. An Infestation, when this creature dies, it explodes, dealing 2 to 16 poison damage to nearby creatures. We gain an Eldritch Invocation, so we're actually going to come down here, and we're going to take Gnashing Teeth, so our Pact Rat gains an extra attack. Warlock level 6, Plague Carrier, so whenever we deal poison damage, we can possibly poison the target. And then we gain another spell, so let's take the Hunger of Hadar. This is a great AoE, place it down and it's just pure blackness and it's very dark, so enemies are blinded. It's difficult terrain, so it's hard to walk through. An enemy that starts their turn will take 2 to 12 cold damage, and if they end their turn within it, will take 2 to 12 acid damage, and it's really, really phenomenal at just keeping enemies locked in. Warlock level 7, we gain more spells, so for this one we are going to take Blight. And then we gain another Eldritch Invocation, so for this one I really like taking Devil's Sight. So we see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, up to 24 meters. Warlock level 8 brings our next feat. Now we gain one more spell as well, so we're going to take Edvard's Black Tentacles. I find if you have another spellcaster who can either do Edvard's or the Hunger of Hadar and you pair them together, you can pump out some incredible damage. We gain another feat, so for this one, again, ability score improvement, and we're going to bump our Charisma all the way up to 20. Warlock level 9 will bring another health boost, we gain a passive as well. And at this point we gain another spell, so we are going to take the Black Death. Reduce the target's maximum hit points by the damage dealt, but never below 1. For our Eldritch Invocation, we are going to take the Minions of Chaos, so we can cast Conjure Elemental if we choose to. Warlock level 10 brings Swarm Leader, so when an enemy within melee range attacks your Pact Rat, you can use a reaction to make a weapon attack against that enemy. So that's really useful, basically another reactionary attack. And Awakened Pack is what we can now summon. Now we gain another cantrip, so let's take Bone Chill. And then we gain one more spell, so for this one we are going to take the Cloud Kill. Craft a large cloud that inflicts 5 to 40 poison damage per turn, and you can reposition it every turn. It heavily obscures everything within it. Warlock level 11 will bring more spells. So for this one, we are going to take the Circle of Death from the Mystic Arcanum. This will sculpt a massive sphere of entropic energy around a creature, devastate the target and all surrounding creatures. We gain one more spell, so for this one we are going to take Banishment. Warlock level 12 will bring more spells. So for this one, we are going to come all the way down here. I'm going to take Hold Person, so we just got a nice concentration-based spell if need be. This will mean any creatures that are also held, if they are attacked within 3 meters as a melee attack, then they will take a critical amount of damage. For our Eldritch Invocation, we're going to take the Life Drinker. This means we can add our Charisma modifier to our attacks made with our weapon, as long as we have it as our packed weapon, that is. And then we gain another feat, so for this one we're going to boost our initiative, because obviously the quicker we get into the turn order, then the quicker we can start pumping out some damage. Okay, so let's go over our equipment. Now, I've gone with the Birthright, so we gain a Charisma +2 up to 22. If you wanted to, you could take the Mask of Soul Perception to gain the +2s to your attack and stuff. We're going to go for a bit of a fire build, so we're going to go with the Cindermoth Cloak. This will mean any attack that you receive within 2 meters, the attacker will take burning. We're going to take the Disintegrating Nightwalkers, so we can't be enwebbed, entangled or ensnared, can't slip on ice and grease, and we gain Misty Step. Now we can only use light armour or clothing, so we are going to take the Studded Leather Armour. We take 1 less bludgeoning damage and a +1 to our initiative. For gloves, we're going to go with the Helldust Gloves, +1 bonus to spell save attacks and spell save DCs, and a 1 to 6 fire damage. For a ring, we can take the Strange Conduit Ring, so we deal an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage whenever we're concentrating, and we're going to take the Caustic Band, so we add 2 acid damage to our weapon attacks. We're going to pair this with the Moondrop Pendant, so whenever we have 50% hit points or less, we don't provoke opportunity attacks. Now for a weapon, we're going to take the Halberd of Vigilance. This is a Sentinel weapon, so again a +1 bonus to our initiative rolls, as well as advantage on perception ability checks. When you make an attack roll as a reaction, you make it with advantage. This pairs very nicely with our Pact Rat ability, and we deal with additional force damage with this weapon. So the first thing we need to do is we need to bind our Pact weapon. So to do that, we're going to come into Bind Pact Weapon. And there we go. We now have the halberd, and we are going to summon our Pact Rat. So, get this going. And there is our rat, and we get the Pact Tactics, as you can see here. Now, if we just check here, you'll see we only have 3 spell slots, and they're all level 5, so you really do have to plan this really, really well. Okay, it's time for us in our turn order. So, you can see we're pretty far up it. Our rat isn't, unfortunately. But, we're going to start with our Hex. Now, we're going to throw this up, and we'll just put... We'll put Constitution, because then it ties into all of our cloak and stuff. So, Constitution. There we go. And let's just do some very basic weapon attacks. You can see just how much damage we're pumping out. And we gain an extra attack, so we can come back in, and you see even more damage available. And now you can see we have our Awakened Pact Rat here. So we can call the Swarm, so this will summon an additional rat for support. So let's do that. If we use our turn, and there you go, we now have 2 rats. In fact, we actually have 3 rats in total. So this is really good. They will move by themselves though. See, as you can see, they are just moving. All going the same way for some reason, as I press the wrong button. And there you go, 3 points of damage, so not a lot, but they are poisoned now, which means disadvantage on attack rolls. And there you go, big miss, and they took 3 burning damage, but we have lost our concentration. And unfortunately, they saved the Screech there. So, once again, we aren't going to bother using our spell for our Hex. We're just going to not worry about it. What we are going to do is we're going to show off some of our other spellcasting capabilities. So let's start with a Carrion Curse, and we'll throw it on the enemy here. There you go, 24 points of damage, and now they have Carrion Curse. And again, if we come into here, they'll take... Oh, sorry, when they die, they'll explode, dealing 2 to 16 poison damage to nearby creatures. And their poisons, they have disadvantage on ability checks. And this is really good, because if you put disadvantage on the main heavy hitters, like the barbarians, more chance that they're not going to hit. And now we're back to our main rat. Now the main rat can screech, and this will try and frighten enemies. We have a spew, which is like poison ray, and shredding teeth. So let's do shredding teeth, and we'll put this on the barbarian. And shredded armor, so then now their AC has been reduced by 2. You see we got these pack tactics. So you can really just get these swarms of rats just doing some great stuff. A lovely critical hit, so you can see just how much damage that did, and we spread poison even more. Alright, let's try and cause the explosion on this enemy. So for this one, we are just going to do Eldritch Blast. See how much damage we can pump out. And there you go, you see we did all our damage and the explosion with the poison. Now if that was around a bunch of enemies, obviously that would have dealt damage to them too. And then of course we have our next rat here. Now let's just do a very basic attack here. There you go. So again, the damage isn't a lot, but you can spread poison, and poison is a great little killer. And again, the rats, they actually do a lot of damage with their reactions. And now we're back to our Warlock, and that's basically the gist of this entire thing. It's just throwing up amazing spells and really relying on Eldritch Blast. Now obviously you want to have Hex going for as long as possible, but sometimes you will just lose concentration. So in this case, let's throw down the Hunger of Hadar, because we've got 2 enemies down here. This will use all our spell slots, but it kind of is what it is, unfortunately. So let's get this going. And there you go. So now you see they're both within it, and our rat is just on the edge here. This still frees up our bonus actions, so if we wanted to, we could Misty Step, we can push, those sort of things. And there you go, concentration broken. You can see they took the cold damage. And of course they're going to want to try and leave ASAP. Now if we put ourselves here, maybe we can close the enemy off. And our rat pack is still just doing its own little thing, moving around the battlefield. And look at that, they just took 13 points of damage, and you can see the difficult terrain there. And then you can see the acid damage, and that has been what's killed them off. But of course we still have other things we can do, so let's again throw out our Eldritch Blast, and you'll see we can actually split them. So let's do a 2-in-1, just like that, and that's allowed us to murder one and knock one off with a bit more damage. So again, let's send our rat up, and for this one, let's go in with an Infectious Bite. Now unfortunately that missed, but that's okay. And then we're back to our turn, so now without Hex, let's just do 2 very basic attacks so you can see the damage output. And you can see it's still so high, and because we're concentrating, we also benefit from the extra psychic damage, hence why we took the ring. And you see the damage output we have is just crazy. And then obviously, if we can bonus action, because this comes from our weapon, or sorry, from our boots, not our spell slots. We can close the gap up here, and benefit from our packed tactics. And this means we can also close the distance if we come up here. And let's try and benefit from our Eldritch Blast and see if we can push them off. There you go. And as you see, once again, like I said, they take extra fall damage, and now they're knocked prone. And then it's just simply a case of ending the fight. Again, more Eldritch Blast, and there you go. So you can see the Rat Pact is just such a fun subclass. You can spread around a bunch of poison, you can make enemies explode with poison, give them disadvantage on attacks. And the rats are, most of them anyway, are automated if you call the pact, meaning that you don't even have to worry about controlling them, they'll just do their own thing, and you can sort of readjust from there. So I really hope you have enjoyed this build. If you have, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you change, any new items, abilities, skills, all that fun stuff. If you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel for more. I've got more guides to Baldur's Gate, Path of Exile, and I've got guides to things like Dragon Age, all the RPGs you could need. Regardless, I really hope you have enjoyed, and if you have, hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.